Okay, this is how you are going to make a pie chart. This has the most steps in it, but if you follow this video tutorial, it will be really simple. Make sure you leave enough room on the top of your notebook page for the entire pie chart. It will be 2 halves of the protractor for the entire circle. We're going to start by placing your protractor near the bottom line that you drew on that half page of your notebook so that you don't run over into the analysis part so that you have room to write later. So place this edge, this curve, close as you can here, but still leave room to draw around it. Each protractor has a circle in the middle. This is where you will center your protractor each time, so you must draw a dot. Just fill it in, circle. I made mine pretty big so that you can see it pretty easily. The next thing is you don't start to draw from this edge, you start at this mark. This is the 180-degree mark on a protractor. You can see each protractor has 180 degrees on each of the axes, depending on which way you look. There are numbers here and here. This is the 0 degrees, and I will draw a tick mark out here. I am drawing this out so that you can see clearly where I am starting my lines. You will then trace a curved line around the edge of the protractor, and you will have half of your circle. I will then flip my protractor around and center it back on that circle that I drew right in the middle, and make sure that these 0 degree and 180 degree lines are lined up with those tick marks I drew so that the other half of my circle is proportionate. You will then trace around. Done. There is your circle. Now, to start, you must use that equation that is on the chart inside of that Google document for this because it might get confusing. We are using really simple numbers for this. We have color of cats and number of cats. Our colors are striped, orange, and black. The number of categories equals the number of slices. So your pie chart is going to be divided up into parts based on the degrees and how much there is. If you look at the number of categories, that's how many pie slices you are going to end up having. But you need to make sure that they're not all equal. So, for striped, there are 2 cats that are striped, but I need to know the total number of cats that I have. 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5 is 10. So I have 10 total cats. I need to do math and say 2 divided by 10 equals 0.2. I then multiply this number by 360. This gives me 72 degrees. I did this math earlier. I promise I'm not a math whiz. So, 72 degrees, what does that mean? You stick your protractor back on that circle and line it up with the tick marks. I am now going to use these numbers around here. So I will start at the 0, making sure that tick mark is lined up, and this is all good to go. I will find where it goes to 72. There are tiny tick marks, so you should be able to calculate exact degrees. I'm going to draw a tick mark out to here, and that is where my 72 degrees are at. So I need to use my ruler now. Since I started at this tick mark, I am going to draw a line from it to the inside of my circle center dot. That is where I start. Now I go to this 72 degree tick mark, line it up with my circle in the center, and draw a line. This is my first pie slice, and I'm going to label it 2 striped. So you will put the number of cats and the color of cats, both variables. Now the next part is where it gets a little bit trickier. You're still going to do your equation and measure out, but instead of using this tick mark to start, you are now using the new tick mark to start where you measure. I already did the math, and I know that I have 3 orange cats, and that would equal out to 110 degrees, I think. Is that what it is? Hold on.